Hi, this is Mike from the Ski Legends, and I am with Mike Toons Bridgewater in Warren, Vermont. Hi, Mike.
Hey, how are you, Mikey?
Good. And I've been here for a couple of days. Mike and I have known each other for about 40 years, and we're going to talk a little bit about his ski career, which is legendary, and some PSIA stuff, which is also legendary. But Mike, start out. When did you start skiing?
Well, I was very fortunate in that my dad was in the 10th Mountain Division, and so he fought over in Italy and was in the ski troops, trained out
Camp Hale?
at Camp Hale in Colorado, and so that was something that was always an important part of his life, and then thus myself and my three younger brothers. So we actually started to learn how to ski. I took my first turns at a Big Bear in California. I was like 7 years old. We moved back east, and my dad got us out on the pasture. My dad and mom got us out in the cow pastures in New Hampshire with bear trap bindings and old Northland wood skis and doing the whole snow plow, sidestep, all the basic skills. And then eventually we graduated to skiing Mount Sunapee, Mount Ascutney here in the east. And then I went on to school, and skiing was always something that I was passionate about. I fell in love with it right away. We took a trip in 1956. My parents, we were living in St. Louis at the time, and we took a trip to Aspen, where my dad had war friends and fraternity brothers from college that
Oh yeah, all
had
the
homes
10th
up
Mountain
there.
Division guys that started ski resorts out there.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was a fabulous experience in Aspen, and one that I'll never forget, and probably something that really tied me into wanting to become more involved in skiing. In the event, eventually went to college up here in Vermont, the University of Vermont. And one of the reasons I chose UVM was because it was close to so many wonderful ski areas: Stowe, Sugarbush, Mad River Glen, Bolton Valley, Smuggler's Notch. Figured I'd be doing a lot of skiing. Well, I didn't ski one day in 4 years that I was at UVM because I was in such a heavy academic program. But once I got out of UVM, I had an opportunity to join a ski patrol over at Madonna Mountain, known as Smuggler's Notch, and kind of taught myself how to ski. I was a power wedge turner, and I eventually got very involved with patrolling. I went from Madonna over to Stowe, from Stowe down to Sugarbush, and during that time I got my examinership and got fully certified, and that was like a 10-year run being a patrolman, and I had a great opportunity to be the caretaker of Tuckerman's Ravine during that time. So in 1970, my first wife Cassie and I, we were the caretakers of the ravine.
Wow. Where did you live there? I haven't been there
We
in many
lived.
years.
We actually lived in the ravine shelter, but it burnt down. So we
Okay.
ended up staying in the Mount Washington Volunteer Ski Patrol shack,
Okay.
which was a tiny little thing, but it was amazing. It was an amazing time. And then it got to the point where I was kind of coming to the end of my patrol career, and I was here at Sugarbush, and it's a long story, won't go into, but a friend of mine, Bill Irwin, convinced me to try to talk to Siggy Grottendorfer, the director of the ski school here at Sugarbush. And I went through a week tryout for that and actually made it and learned more about skiing in that 1 week tryout selection process, which really kind of anchored me even further into the passion that I've had for a lifetime.
And you've been in the valley since then. You made some trips to Aspen. You were doing that a couple winters, and PSIA Western Division.
Yeah, actually, what happened is I got full certified in 1981 up in Sugarloaf. Went down to Chile with Siggy, who ran the ski school down there in Portillo, another place called La Parva, and I did that for five of our summers, their winters. During that time, I also taught full-time here at Sugarbush and got very involved with the Professional Ski Instructors of America, became an advanced educator and eventually an examiner, and went on the road full-time with PSIA back in early 90s. And then we had a young family, and my wife, Helen, was, because I was doing so much traveling for PSIA, that wasn't going over too well. So she suggested we find a place where we could be together as a family and I wouldn't travel. And at that point, I said, well, what do we do, honey? And she said, well, maybe out west. So the long story there is that we ended up in Aspen at Snowmass and had a 9-year run there. It was fabulous. I ran all of our certification training for 9 years. Got heavily involved in the Rocky Mountain Professional Ski Instructors of America. Was able to transfer my examinership from the East to the Western Rocky Mountain Division. And that was fabulous, being able to ski all over Colorado, New Mexico, up in Wyoming. It was a wonderful opportunity to visit some really iconic, wonderful ski resorts. And of course, the more I got involved, the more I fell in love with it.
Mike, we're going to take a break for a minute. We're going to come back for part 2. Where did the dog go? Oh, behind me, not behind me. And we're going to say hi to Bowie too. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.